Hello, hello, everyone. We are back with another reading. Um, so the last reading that we did, the last video that we did, I want to thank you all for the new likes, subscribes, and the comments. Thank you guys so much for sharing your story. I love hearing your stories because that really validates that we are not alone on this journey, not on this twin flame ascension journey, and not in this journey of life. So I really appreciate you guys who took the time to comment and share, and everybody who liked and have subscribed. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the community. The last video, it was all about the Divine Feminine. I did not expect that video to come out. I did not expect the messages to come out. We also did a special channeled message for Lightworkers on the same day. So it was all about the Divine Feminine, the past two readings, the past two videos. I'll post both links in the description box below because they're pretty incredible. So for the Divine Feminine, it was also for Divine Masculine. So remember, we hold both energies within us. So if you're a Divine Masculine, as a light worker, you'll resonate with some of the messages that were coming through, all about empowerment, all about intuition, tapping into that intuition. So take a listen to that video, especially if you're a light worker, that might have some resonance with you. Also, the Divine Feminine reading was incredible. I think I'm still kind of reeling from that energy because the Masculine really came through with some channeled messages as well in that reading, and it was just really beautiful. So I put off, I was going to do a Divine Masculine reading right after, but I was just not feeling the energy. It was all about the Divine Feminine the other day. But we're going to do the Divine Masculine reading here because we have some new decks and I'm called to use them. So we'll see what comes out. We'll see what the Divine Masculine has to say. For those of you who are following my story, I actually did see my Divine Masculine yesterday. We have been in a little bit of contact after basically a month of separation after having... It was an awful, like one of the worst moments that we've ever had. But, you know, there's forgiveness and there's love and there's peace again. Yesterday when we saw each other, it felt a little awkward. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It felt a little bit detached. It felt like there was like a nervous energy there. It felt like there was a lack of warmth. It just didn't feel like time. And when I was leaving, because, you know, we spent some time together, and then I heard from my spirit team, like, I knew it was time to leave. Like, I felt it inside of me. I knew it was time to leave. I didn't want to go. I lingered at his back door because I really didn't want to leave him. But I knew I had to, and so I did, and I was okay. You know, I didn't cry, which every time I leave him, I end up crying, because that's like the grief that's coming up, the feeling of loss, the feeling of separation. I didn't feel that this time. I felt at peace. I felt like this is what we needed to do. And when I asked my spirit team on my drive home, they said it was for protection. They said that sometimes, you know, I was meant to see him, we were meant to see each other, but sometimes it's not the right time for everything. They said sometimes the feelings can be so intense that you need to pull back so that you don't hurt each other more. And that's the purpose of separation, because you're not separated. You're not. You are one soul. This is a divine love. And with divine love, you are never separated. You're never separated from anybody. That's unity consciousness. That's oneness. You're always connected. And that's what we're starting to understand. But especially with our divine counterparts, when we are feeling such an intense love for them, an intense emotion, when we're not with them in the physical, it feels like separation, but there is no separation. There is no such thing. Especially when there's only love. And that's what we're healing. That's one of the many things that we are healing as a collective, the paradigm of that. My spirit team actually said that this was for protection, so that you don't, you know, hurt each other more, because coming into union, coming into harmony, coming into balance, and you don't want anything to hinder those energies, to they're giving me the word shock to the system. Sometimes it can be a shock to the system. And with the chakras aligning, with the energies aligning, you don't want anything to shock the system like that. So when it feels that intensity comes, there's a difference between the intensity of love and an intensity of that comes with healing. And the intensity that comes with healing, that's when you draw back. That's when the masculine draws back. That's when separation, so-called separation, occurs. I'd never heard that before. That's what they're channeling to me now. It's very interesting to me. That was my experience. It's interesting to me that they're explaining that now, because that was my experience yesterday, where I was still feeling the love, and we have this intense bond where sometimes the love feels so overwhelming, but in a positive way, in a way that it's just, I think back to the time when we were in so-called separation for a few weeks back in the fall, and when we came together, it was time, and there was so much love there. I remember just the look in his eyes and the way we held each other. There was so much love, and that was not what we were feeling yesterday. And so it was very confusing, and it was very, it was sad. It was sad, but it wasn't grief. It was disappointment, but it wasn't grief. It was just, there was a feeling of detachment there, on my end as well, possibly on his. I'm not sure what he was experiencing, but on my end, there was a feeling of, something feels off. There seems like there's so much distance there. And I could have gone down the road of, is the love there? Is the love still there? As I had gone down that road a week ago. I was down that road a week ago. If you guys listen to some of my past videos, I was there a couple weeks ago where I was like, I don't even feel the love still there. But a couple of days ago, I said, you know what? I'm just going to believe. I have faith again. I'm just going to believe. Because I have been tested and tested and tested in my faith, and it keeps coming back to this knowing that not only is he my divine counterpart, my twin flame. I don't like that label, but I will use it. He is my person in every sense of the word, in that spiritual connection, that emotional connection, that physical connection, that intimate connection. Am I missing one? That mental connection. In every sense of the word, he feels like my person. He feels like my home. And I can no longer ignore that. And I'm not going to deny that, because that is very much a part of me. I'm not going to deny that love anymore. I'm just not. And, whatever, I'm starting to understand that whatever you're seeing on the 3D is just the results. That's what they had told me. It's just the results. What they had channeled to me this afternoon was, as I was cooking dinner, was cause and effect. And I said, what do you mean by that? And they said, the 5D is a cause. What you experience, what you feel, what was happening within you, that's the cause. What you see on the 3D is the effect. So your thoughts are the things, the cause, what you make happen. And then the effect, what's happening on the 3D, is everything that's happening on the 3D. It's what's tangible, what you can see, hear, taste, touch, smell. So it's cause and effect. The 3D is just the results of everything that's going on in your inner world. And that finally made sense. I finally understood that. And I said, I don't want to focus on the 3D anymore, especially if it's not real. I want to go within and feel that love there. And more I'm connecting there. And I feel at peace. And I want to give a shout out to all of my friends. I've talked about them quite a bit on this channel, but especially to my friend Molly. You can follow her channel, Merkaba Molly. She actually did a reading for me last night, and she helped me. I was feeling at peace, but I was still a little bit off balance there, a little bit shook up, a little bit emotional, and she really helped me come back to that place of centeredness and groundedness, and I've been there ever since. Because what I realized, especially as I went to bed last night, I was connecting with my spirit guides, and I realized whatever is happening on the 3D really is the result of what's happening on the inside. And it is happening within. It is happening in the higher dimensions. It's just taking some time coming out as a result into the 3D, coming out as a result into the physical world. And what I understand too is that the divine masculines, we've been saying this, but they really are healing. They are really going through this evolution, and it's very difficult. And, I have been teetering back and forth between compassion and feeling like, come on, hurry up, and patience, and what's happening, and just a lot of confusion. And last night I should say, into today, I really settled into that high vibration. And whenever I started to feel anxiety over, doubt or lack of faith or questioning how he's, if he's sending me music, questioning why is he sending me that music, I would say no, because it would bring me back into that low vibe, and I don't want to stay in that low vibe. That's the falseness. That's the illusion. It's the love that's there, the love that is real. And you always have love from your divine counterpart. You always have love for your divine counterpart. And part of loving unconditionally is trusting in yourself and trusting in that. I'm hearing Spirit say it's God's love. It's, understanding that what they're saying is Source. You can doubt and you can have a lack of faith, but Source is always going to love you. And so look at it from that lens. They're saying they might pull back, they might not communicate, but you're always going to love them. That is unconditional love. And that's what we are grounded into now. That's what we're grounded into now. And it feels so good. It feels so good, just a knowing. It's a releasing of the expectations. I don't care when it happens. I don't care what happens. I want him in my life. I want him as my best friend in my life. I want him as a relationship. But we already are together. We already are one. We already are together. We already have that love. And that is what feels so good. And, maybe, I'm not even going to say that. I was going to say, you know what? Maybe we won't come together in this life. But I'm not even going to say that because it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because of the love that is there. The love that I am feeling inside of myself for him. And yes, even from him. And I believe fully and have faith that when it is time, they will come forward. They will come forward. But they are in a time of healing. Molly, she actually gave a great visual, and I hope it's okay, Molly, that I'm reiterating this. But she said it's kind of like they're in the hospital. It's kind of like they're in a period of, and we kind of laughed at this. She's like, he's in a full cast, and she's like, they're going through this period of healing. And it's almost like that's what the separation is for. Both of you are healing. And I recognize that myself because some healing issues came up for me last night as well. Some of it is even running parallel to what I believe he's experiencing. But it's just not time to come together and talk about it. It's just not time to come together, period. Because you have to go through healing apart, even though you're never apart. Sometimes you have to go through that healing apart to, number one, protect yourselves, protect this connection, because this connection is divinely protected. It is divinely guided. You can trust that your spirit team and his spirit team are helping him, that he is, just as you're being divinely guided, so is he, and that he's being watched over, and that they are helping with the healing, and that he is understanding this. They're saying he is understanding. He is awakened to this, and he is understanding that he has this team behind him. Whether he's fully opening up his gifts or not, it depends on what stage of the journey they're in, but he's feeling this. He is feeling some kind of guidance, some kind of protection, and he's also feeling your love. And what I also realized last night as part of my healing is that, since a very young age, part of my inner child wounding was, not wanting anybody to feel left behind or forgotten or that unloved or abandoned. And so I would always, I'm going to share a story. So my grandmother had Alzheimer's, and as a very young girl, because she lived with us, I helped to take care of her. That was something that I took on myself. It should not have been allowed, but I did take on that myself. I take that responsibility for that because I wanted my parents to feel supported, and I wanted her to know that she was loved and cared for. And so I have this memory of always going into her room and making sure that, she knew that she was loved and she was remembered, sitting with her and spending time with her. And even now that's bringing up a lot of emotion. You can't fix everything. You can't heal everything. And I understand that now, that they know that their love is there. You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it for people to feel it. And yeah, there's a lot there, and I did that for my divine masculine. Where, I never wanted him to feel like I abandoned him. I never wanted him to feel like I was giving up on him, and I never wanted him to feel like he was unloved, because I do love him so much. But I realized yesterday that I can't heal this for him, and that was part of the peace I felt when I left. It was part of the peace in knowing that this was part of my journey as well, part of my healing journey as well, this separation, understanding that I can't fix this for him, that my love is always there, and I'm always there for him, always, and that if he ever needs me, he knows where to find me, but that some things he has to go through himself, and knowing that he's never alone, knowing that he has me, and he has my love, and he has his spirit team and guides and support from others, his own soul tribe too. And it just brought me to a place of beautiful peace, and knowing that when it is time, he'll be there, and I'll be there, and we'll come together again. And what I'm getting from Spirit is that they'll know when it's time to come forward, because it is their job to come forward. It's not your job to pull them along. It is their job to rise up and come forward towards you, and they'll know it. They will know when it's time, because they will get the nudge from the universe, they're saying. They're reminding me of a message that I had gotten, it was either yesterday or the day before, of their communication lately has felt like putting their foot in the water, testing the temperature. In some cases, especially with my Divine Masculine, I experienced this. I know this was collective as well. They were kind of reaching out and then pulling back again, and then reaching out and pulling back again. And it was a very nervous energy. It was a very anticipatory energy. Kind of like an excited energy, like at a school dance, but very nervous too. Like they weren't quite ready. And what they were doing was they were putting their toe in the water, and then putting their foot in the water, and then getting a little bit deeper, getting a little bit further in, just testing the water. And here we are as Divine Feminines going, okay, come on, you can do it. And behind them, the universe is the other parent going, all right, let's push you in, let's get you in. And it's like the Divine Masculine is like resisting and like putting, like dropping to their whole body to the ground with dead weight, because they're resisting, because they're just not ready, but they're inching their way forward. And now what I'm getting, the Divine Feminine, especially for this collective, has said, okay, I'm in the water. I'm no longer like doing this. Come on. What's going on? Come on, just jump. The Divine Feminine is, okay, I'm in the water. Come in. It's nice. When you're ready, come in. And behind them, the universe is doing this, gently nudging. What they're telling me right now, they're showing me the tower. What they're telling me right now is for some who are still resistant, they're allowing the Divine Masculine, Spirit is allowing the Divine Masculine to do this tentative, testing the water bit. But they're not going to allow it for long. That's a warning. They're not allowing it for long. What they're doing is they're saying, because the masculine is still healing, that's why it's allowed, because they're still moving forward. They're still, they're still inching their way towards communication, still inching their way towards this awareness, to this ascension journey, to their Divine Feminine, their divine counterpart. But for some who are still like dropped to the ground and dead weight, they're showing me the tower. There's going to be a tower moment for those who are still in resistance, and the universe is going to like, oh my God, it's funny. It's really funny. They're showing me like a parent just picking up the kid and dropping them in the water. That's what's going to feel like for a very small segment of the collective who is just in complete resistance. Fighting for that control. It's a very tense energy, but that's a very small segment. For the rest of them, the Divine Feminine is just like, okay, the water's nice, I'm going to enjoy it, I'm going to float on my back, feel at peace. When you're ready, come on in. And the universe is just doing this, guiding them, pushing them along just a little bit, nudge by nudge by nudge. It's a really beautiful energy. And the Divine Masculine, I'm feeling there's a sense of gratitude there, not only for the Divine Feminine, because it releases pressure off of them, allows them to do the healing work and do it on their time. And remember, the Divine Feminine is doing healing work too, because you guys are in alignment now. You're in complete alignment now. And the universe, they're grateful for the universe, for Spirit as well, for Source, because they're like, okay, now the dust is settling. There's no more. This is for the larger collective. No more tower moments, no more shakeups. I can do this as I gain my courage and as I gain my strength. And make no mistake, they are gaining their courage and their strength. Whew. Beautiful. It's really beautiful energy. The Divine Masculines, we should be so proud of them because they're really doing a tremendous job. All right, I'm going to go into, they're done with the intro messages, so I'm going to get, it's never a coincidence that I share my story and speak the way I speak, because even that is channeled. You know, I share what they want me to share. I share what it feels right to share for the collective. That's part of my journey. That's part of my mission. Part of my purpose is sharing my story, because this is a shared experience. And I've come to realize with my book, with my readings, with everything, with my nonprofit foundation, sharing my story is part of why I am here on this earth. To kind of be a guide for others in that way, to show people that they're not alone in their own journeys and their own stories. So I'm very, very grateful. So I'm saying that because it's not, well, I'm saying that, I don't know why I'm saying that, because it's being channeled to me. My mind kind of goes blank when I channel, and I don't really know what I'm speaking. But the reason, the feeling that I'm getting from that is, it's not a coincidence. There's going to be, they're saying there's going to be some messages that links back, because it always links back to what I talk about and the part of my journey that I share. So if it resonates with you, then this reading will probably resonate with you. If it doesn't, you know, there might still be some messages here, so give it a listen. And if it doesn't, then don't take it. With my readings, I'm going to give a disclaimer for those of you who are new. Thank you for being here. I'm an intuitive reader. I don't read the traditional tarot cards. I read based on the energies of the cards and what they channel to me, the symbols and the feelings that they give me based on the energy. If there is something that you're getting, trust your own intuition. There is never a replacement for your own intuition on this journey. Additionally, if something is not feeling good to you, if a message is not feeling good to you, then it's a good chance that it's not for you. If it means it's not resonating with you, then it's definitely not for you. If it feels good to you, I mean, even if it's like a tougher message, if it feels like it's resonating, then it's for you. But if it doesn't feel good, if it makes you feel like all tied up in knots, then that means it's not resonating for you and the message is not for you, so just disregard it. Don't ever forget that I'm reading for a collective here, so not all messages may resonate with you. If you want a personal reading where I tap into your individual energies, you or your divine counterpart, I don't just read for divine counterparts. I do read for the ascension journey as a whole. For light workers, I read for careers. I do family relationships and dynamics. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm running a spring sale, $10 off for the full and half price readings. And you know, either check out the website, susandonspiritual.com. Send me an email, susandonspiritual@gmail.com, or check out the description box below for more information on that. If you ordered readings for me, I was closed for March, but if you ordered readings for me for this first week of April, thank you so much. I am finishing up readings tomorrow and Friday, so make sure you check your inboxes for the links there. Okay. Whew. All right. Oh, yep, that wanted to come out. Aww. So we're doing a divine masculine reading today. And let's see what's coming out. We already got happiness. And it says, well, there's a lot, I'm immediately pulled to the green. So there's a lot of heart chakra activations happening. What they're telling me is that they are really connecting to their emotions here. We also have dolphins here. And dolphins are very empathetic and intelligent creatures. So what they're giving me here is awakening energy. It says happiness. I'm aware of being happy. No, I'm aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. The masculines are tapping into their emotions. They are tapping into the love that they're feeling. They're tapping into their own happiness. And they're understanding that they had to shed the things that weren't serving them, because what it means that it's not serving them is it's not making them fulfilled. It's not satisfying them. It's not making them happy. And that's just pulling them back. That was just holding them down. True happiness is connecting with yourself. True happiness is knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. When you feel that sense of peace inside of you, you know that's your emotions are your navigational system. If you're all tied up, if you're all confused and in conflict with yourself or with others, because as within, so without, if you're in conflict with yourself, you're in conflict with others. If you're in conflict with others, you're in conflict with yourself somewhere. If you're feeling frustration or resentment, then there's something inside of you that's off. You're not at peace with yourself because you're not on the right path. There's something inside of you that has to be corrected. And the Tower is a course correction card. It means that something is coming in to shake you up because you're not on the right path. So it is redirecting you. The Tower moments that you have are redirecting you. So happiness, when you feel at peace, when you feel happy, you are exactly where your soul orchestrated you to go. Your soul knows the entire blueprint for what you needed in this lifetime. Your soul knows where you're meant to go, where you want to go, what it is that truly makes you happy, what it is that truly makes you feel alive. So trust the feelings, trust the good feelings, trust the happiness. Another message is coming through. What they're saying is, for the divine masculines, especially with this masculine paradigm, the masculine, the patriarchal conditioning that we have been talking about for the last few readings, the divine masculine has been very burdened, has been almost brought up to believe in struggle versus happiness, struggle versus love, that they have to work hard, that they're not worth it, that they're unworthy of true happiness and love because love is meant to be a struggle. Love is meant to be fought for. And so understanding this unconditional love, especially from their divine feminine, has not only been difficult, but it's been something that they've doubted, that they've had a lack of faith in because it's almost like it's too good to be true. But happiness is their divine right. Because happiness is your divine right as a soul. Divine masculines or divine feminines. As a soul, it is your divine right. Love is your divine right. But somewhere along the lines, they forgot unconditional love. And I had channeled a message, and they're reminding me of this now. For some divine masculines, the last time they felt true unconditional love wasn't from a mother or father figure. Even that love from family units or from partners, from in marriages, even those had conditions. What they're saying is this goes back to not just the inner child, but to when the soul was, a spirit, when the soul was energy, one with source. That was the last time they felt that unconditional love. And so now here's the divine feminine embodying that unconditional love. Because remember, it is one with source. It's the Trinity. This divine union, this divine partnership is the Trinity. It is what they had been channeling to me before was the Trinity being a triangle with the divine, the masculine, and the feminine all being one. But what they have been channeling to me lately was that it's more like this. It's a complete merging of the energies. The divine masculine, the divine feminine, and the divine itself, source energy, God itself, merging to become one. That is oneness. That is unity consciousness. That is a complete merging. That is the Trinity. And so coming face to face with that was scary for them because they hadn't experienced that since they were one with source. Outside of this physical body, outside of this lifetime, when they were one with source, when they were back with source, they hadn't experienced that unconditional love until they came face to face with their divine feminine, and that was scary and overwhelming. It was so beautiful and so powerful and so intense that it was frightening to them. And now, as they're recognizing the divinity within themselves and recognizing the unconditional love within themselves, because of all these, sorry guys, that's my dogs, because of all these heart activations and these expansions, these downloads that they're getting, this awakening, this acknowledgement, this ascension, now it's, now they're recognizing that love and they're accepting that love. I'm going to close my door. Hold on one second. You guys. My dogs were just barking, and I looked out the window, and I think my Girl Scout cookies came. And if you have been watching my videos, you know that I have been trying to manifest my Girl Scout cookies. It's been like a month. So, yay! See what happens when you raise your vibes and you release expectations of when and where? It happens. It comes. Yay! I'm happy. Okay. All right. Where was I? Let me get a drink. It's a lot of excitement around here. Let me tell you. All right. So, yeah. So that was the first time they experienced that unconditional love, and they're understanding that unconditional love within themselves, and they're understanding that not only is happiness and love their divine right, but they can have that with their divine feminine as well, that they're deserving of that, and that they want that, and that is part of their path. This happiness and this love is a part of their path. Okay, what else do you have for the divine masculines, please, Spirit? Those are beautiful messages, thank you. What else do you have for the divine masculines? Okay. I'm going to get to that in a second. We have a lot of difficult cards here. We have, okay, this is what they're telling me. This is what the divine masculine is healing right now. There's a lot of fear that they are transmuting, that they are clearing. It's, we have fear. I realize I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. They're coming out of this energy, is what they're saying. They're really coming out of this energy and stepping more into this happiness energy, stepping more into this place of abundance, understanding that they are abundant, that they are capable of abundance, and that they want to manifest this. They want this for their lives. It says, I'm a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality, and that is love and happiness. But they're coming out of this place of fear where they had been living. And what we're getting, what they're giving me is it's a fear, it's regret, it's ego, and it's a fear of failure. Because again, they were living in this patriarchal conditioning, this 3D paradigm where they couldn't fail, where they had this toxic masculinity around them, where they couldn't tap into their emotions because emotions were perceived as bad. Now they're tapping into that energy. Now they are tapping into that, their emotional body. And what they're actually giving me with this regret card is as they tap into their emotions, all of those emotions are coming up to the surface in a flood. And that can come out as anger, that can come out as fear, that can come out as grief. However that's coming out as, however it's being portrayed, it's healing is what's happening. I know for myself, whenever I was healing, it was always tears. I can't even tell you how much I've cried. It's like an ocean around here. But it was grief is what I was healing. I was healing so much grief, and it was coming out as tears, and I couldn't control them. For a lot of masculines, it's coming out as anger, and it's coming out as fear. So what we have here is they are facing their past, facing their mistakes, failures, facing where they've closed themselves off, where they've been trapped in ego and conflict and pride here. But what Spirit wants to acknowledge is that they went through what they went through, all those experiences, for a purpose. So even though the masculine is facing all this for healing, the divine really wants them to forgive themselves. Don't live in that place of regret. Don't live in that place where you're saying, oh my God, I'm such a failure. Don't live trapped in that devil energy, in that ego. Because you went through, divine masculines, they went through, if I say you, sometimes I talk directly to the divine masculines, sometimes I refer to them as they, take it as it is. The divine masculine and divine feminines, you as a soul have orchestrated this lifetime for your own soul's evolution, for your growth. You knew what you needed to go through to get to this point. I'll as an example, I went through my illness because that was karma that I needed to clear out. And I learned a lot about self-love. I learned a lot about relationships. I learned a lot about support. I learned a lot about myself. And it brought a lot of opportunity into my life. It brought a lot of people into my life. My soul, in some way, orchestrated that illness in order to learn, in order for my soul to evolve and to grow. Whether it's relationships, whether it's work and career decisions, whether it's failures or mistakes that have been made, however it's resonating with you, whatever it is that you're thinking of at this moment when we're speaking of these messages, know that you went through that experience for the purpose of this healing, so that you could learn from it and then heal from it, so that your soul can evolve through it. So we have the regret card here. It says, I know that I cannot change the past. The past is in the past. You went through it so that you could grow and so that you can evolve. And now it's time to heal. Now it's time to transmute that energy and remain in the present. Look towards the future, but be present, because you're not who you were a second ago. You're not who you were a day ago, an hour ago, last year. That is part of this ascension journey. And what they're actually telling me is, as you anchor more into this energy, this higher vibrational energy, you're going to start feeling that past energy, that past timeline slip away. There's not going to be any emotional attachment because you're healing from it and transmuting all of that energy. So there's not going to be an emotional attachment to the past. For me, that's very interesting. I had channeled that before, but for me, that's very interesting because I used to be someone who looked to the past. I held on to the past a lot because I had a pretty good, upbringing, and it was a sense of nostalgia there. But the more I heal, the more I understand, because I did have stuff to heal from my past as well. The more I heal and the more I ascend and step into this high vibrational energy, the more anchored I am into the present. And the past is just a timeline that's fading away. I'm not stepping onto that timeline anymore. It's not necessary. That past is in the past for a purpose. They're showing me a meme that my Divine Masculine had sent me way back when. And it's a scene from The Lion King where Rafiki bumps Simba over the head, and Simba's like, what was that for? And Rafika's like, it doesn't matter, it was in the past. That's exactly what it is. It doesn't matter, it's in the past. When you heal from it, it's healed and it's done, and you've evolved, and now you go forward. It's forward momentum, forward movement. And once you're anchored into this timeline, to this higher vibration, you're not even going to want to look back. You're not even going to want to look back, which is beautiful. It's beautiful because there's nothing left behind there. There's nothing left in the past for you. It's in the past for a reason. And if they're saying, if you're not resonating with that message, if that's kind of triggering you, it just means that you're not there yet, and they have a lot of compassion for that. They're saying it's a process. This is a process of releasing and letting go of the past is a process as well. But once you start feeling more at peace within yourself, once you start anchoring into that higher vibration, and once you start bringing that 5D template down, you'll start to understand this. You'll start to really feel this. I feel like this is for both Divine Feminines and Divine Masculines. Divine Masculines really because they have been holding on to the past through these emotions, through this regret, through this fear, through this ego, this pride, through this, it's nostalgic energy, but it's nostalgia like the failure, like, oh my God, what did I do? That kind of thing. They're still connected emotionally, and what they're saying is your release, as you bring those emotions up for release, you'll let go of the story of the past, which is beautiful. So I'm going to read the cards here. We have fear. I realize I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Everything coming back to a place of love, because love is the only thing that's real. Even fear is the illusion. Love is the only thing that is real. We have failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. That's exactly, it's just validating what we were just talking about, what they had just said about it's just the experience, your chance to evolve and to learn. So even a failure, anything that you perceive as a failure was a chance for you to grow. So flip the script. Change your perception around it. Create another story around it. There's a lot of false beliefs they're giving me here. A lot of false beliefs based on those experiences, based on what we're talking about here. So change your perception around it. Start looking at it from a place of gratitude. I'm grateful for this experience where it didn't work out the way I wanted it to because, and then list the ways that you're grateful. Because there is no failure. There is no failure in this life. Everything has its divine purpose. Everything is for learning and growth and evolution. And then we have pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone, but the energy that they're giving me from this is ego. And they're saying that the ego is making you closed off, and you have to release that. You have to open yourself up. Again, this heart chakra activations, this heart chakra expansion. Find the love within yourself, because as you love yourself, that allows you to love others. But you can't love from a place of ego. You can't love from a place of restriction and confinement. And once you hear, they're bringing me to this, once you heal this, and you flip the script, and you realize that, the past is in the past, and you come from a place of love, and you let go of the ego mind, even spiritual ego. That is what brings in your abundance, because that is your awakening, they're saying. I am a limitless being. You're understanding how divine you are. Once you release all of this and heal all of this, and healing, they're saying, to heal is to acknowledge, to face the shadow aspects of yourself, to do the deep dives and go within and say, okay, I forgive myself, to bring it up to the surface so that it can be transmuted. You cannot bury it down within you. You have to feel it. You have to feel through it. What's that expression? It's you have to move through it. You have to feel through it. You can't bury anything down, because then it just stays stuck there. And if you want to feel lighter, if you want to raise your vibrations, you have to let go. It's like bricks. It's like cement blocks. You have to break up those blocks and release them in order to lighten yourself. And that is when you come back into your true soul self. That is when you become light and love, which is who you are as a soul. And you understand the divinity within you. And as you understand the divinity within you, you understand that you've always been protected, that you're always cared for, that you're always provided for, that this abundance is your divine right, that you're not in competition with anybody, because what is meant for you will always be meant for you, and that the universe is abundant in its makeup. It is infinite, and that there is more than enough. Everything, whatever it is that you want to manifest, has your name on it in the universe, and it is coming to you. And you just have to get rid of all this soul sludge, all the stuff that's holding you down, all the cement blocks that's keeping you grounded, so that you can raise your vibrations and come into alignment and bring that manifestation to you, your abundance to you. And since you are a divine, that is your birthright. These are amazing messages. Okay. They pulled back from this deck, so we're going to go to the next one and see where are the divine masculines in connection to this connection. Where's the divine masculine in connection to this connection? How are they feeling on this ascension journey? I feel like those were very specific messages with regards to healing. Where are they? I feel like that was of heavy energy, and I'm just letting go of it. It's not, I gotta say, it's not the intensity and the heaviness. It's not a restrictive energy that like we had channeled a couple of months ago. It's not that heaviness and that intensity and that restriction, that control that they were fighting for, that resistance, that is gone. That's been transmuted. That energy is gone. What's happening here is a little bit of a heavier energy, but this is all healing energy. It's all healing. I don't quite know how to explain it. It's heavy, but it's because it's coming to the surface for healing, and that's what makes the energy beautiful. Because they're healing. I love the back of these cards. They look like little compasses with hearts. And isn't that beautiful for divine guidance? And look, 2 hearts. These 2 hearts being divinely guided. The divine knows the way. The divine is the compass. Your heart is the compass. So just follow the heart back to each other. Well, that was an unexpected. That was an unexpected message. The back of the card. I've never had the back of the card as a message before. That was pretty cool. We have the new moon coming up. I think it's the 5th or the 6th. And what I've been getting with that is that there's going to be a lot of fresh energy coming in. They actually gave me the word this afternoon, refresh. And I'm like, do you mean refreshing? As in refreshing? And they said, no, refresh. So I'm assuming they mean like a restart, like a reboot, something fresh, which feels really good. It does feel good. It feels like a lighter energy, especially here in April. So everything feels lighter. Everything feels fresh again. Okay. Messages with regards to divine masculine, please. What you got, Spirit? I want that one. Let's get a couple more. Oh my gosh. I'm going to pull tarot because I want to see what's going on too. Okay, that one wanted to come out again. Beautiful and cool. And we have the compass too. Okay. A lot of cards. A lot of cards. I'm not used to taking this many cards. The first thing, they had me pull the compass off the top of the deck, and that's just what they were saying. They are being divinely guided. The masculines are being divinely guided, and it's almost like they're showing me this as like a clock, almost like Wheel of Fortune energy. And what they're actually saying is that it's moving. The clock is moving. It's turning, and they're getting almost to true north, which is the divine feminine. The divine feminine is their true north. That's beautiful. And it's almost there. They're almost there, is what they're saying. Transformation happening with the new moon. What we were just saying about the refresh. There's going to be some more transformations, some awakenings they're giving me, more evolutions happening. So this could be in the form of communication. This can be in the form of higher levels of commitment. But there's going to be, in this next lunar phase, between the new moon and the full moon, is the energy that I'm getting. These next few weeks, there's going to be leaps and bounds with regards to this connection. Leaps and bounds. Okay. These cards are gorgeous. We have the One Ring. Okay, the One Ring Circus came out twice, and I wasn't feeling the charge the first time, so I put it back, but then it came out again. The energy that I'm getting here is that there's still some chaos. It feels like there's still some chaos for the divine masculine, but that they're cleaning up. Because they're pairing me with the cleaning house card. They're cleaning this up. This is the last, like, remnants of conflict, the last remnants of karmic situations, of patterns that aren't serving them, of spiritual belief that's being faded away as new downloads come into them, and they're understanding the downloads that are coming into them. It's feeling a little bit chaotic to them, because it's happening so quickly, and it's almost like an energy of they're having a hard time keeping up with the clean house, but they're doing it. The energy that I'm getting here is that they are putting in the work to clean up the house. In some cases, I'm getting the energy that they actually might be cleaning up the house. Clear mind, clean house, clear mind is what I'm getting. So they might actually be doing that. Some might actually be moving. It's a little bit of a destabilizing energy here. It feels like things are like their mind is a little bit cluttered. It feels like it's a circus is what they're giving me. But we have here one ring circus, and what they're giving me here is that this is almost like the Eight of Swords energy, where they're in this mental conflict themselves. They're in this chaos themselves, like they're causing it themselves, but they're cleaning it up. They're cleaning it up. That's part of the healing process for them. And the divine, they're saying, the divine, their spirit team, their spirit guides, ascended masters, even higher dimensional beings and archangels are coming in and helping them clean up the mind. Clean up the chaos of the mind. So that's really positive. It's really positive. And it's funny because here at the bottom of the deck, we have stuck in the mud. And I wasn't called to take it, but I'm called to take it now. They're not stuck anymore. They're not stuck. It's because of this forward momentum that's causing a little bit of chaos for them that makes it feel like things are kind of like a circus right now. But that's just because of the balancing that they're doing. That's just because of the healing that they're doing. So things kind of feel like this. Like it feels like it's teeter-tottering for them. But that's just part of the cleanup. That's just part of things settling. And so it feels like chaos, but what's actually happening is things are settling, because what's happening is we have this. They're making a choice. The energy that I'm getting is that they've actually made a choice in many cases. Possibly there's that select few that's still in that resistance, that's still like that dead weight. They're like, I don't want to go in, I don't want to go in. Not even testing the water. But that's for a very, very small percentage. For the majority of the collective, they've already made their decision. They've already made their choice to move forward. And you see how beautiful both of these doorways are? Both doorways are saying leads to their divine feminine. They're just trying to decide which way is the best way. Because they understand that their future is wide open. This is full energy. All they have to do is take a leap of faith, make the decision as far as how they want to make the approach towards this commitment. And look how beautiful this card is. This could be marriage, engagement, dating, some kind of higher level of commitment. They're giving me the word communion. I was thinking communication, but they said no, it's communion. It's a coming together. It's a binding of this love. And so what they're telling me is that this is higher dimensional. This is 5D. And it's going to be, like we were talking about in the beginning, the results, the cause and the effect. The results here from the action that your divine masculine takes is what's going to lead to this commitment in the 3D, in the physical world. That's really beautiful. Let's see if we can get some additional clarity on that. I'm going to use this Moonology. Nope, I'm being pulled towards the Energy Oracle deck, which is interesting because they had me pull this deck. This was one of my first decks I ever had. I got a new one. My other one was really, really worn. But this was one of the first decks that I ever had, and it's interesting because a lot of beautiful messages come in for the Divine Feminine reading that we just did. And there were messages from the Divine Masculine in that reading, which was really beautiful. So it's interesting that they had me pull to this one too. But they also want me to pull the Moonology card. So I think there's some messages coming in with regards to the lunar cycle that we were just talking about. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Okay, first Spirit, I want to clarify this, please. What can you tell me about this commitment? What can you tell me about this connection, where the Divine Masculine is with regards to the Divine Feminine? What can you tell me about this? I think we're not going to do tarot today, you guys. I think we're just going to stick with the Oracle cards. Where are we on time? Yeah, I'm going to close this out soon. But we'll get a full Divine Partnership reading. I'm going to try to do that tomorrow, so you will know exactly where the Divine Masculine is, where the Divine Feminine is, how they're feeling about each other, and all that good stuff. But this feels like a very special reading with regards to the Masculine's healing and just where they are in general right now. What can you tell us about the Divine Masculine and this connection? How are they feeling about this connection? Ooh, that flew. Yeah, anxiety. It's this place, it's that energy that I was getting, it's this healing energy, number one, but it's also that energy I'm getting of that putting their foot in the water, testing the waters, that anxious, they're excited, because they know that they're moving towards their divine feminine, so they're excited, but they're very nervous and very anxious because they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. They've made the choice to move towards their divine feminine. They know that their divine feminine is a part of their life, is a part of their happiness here. And they know that they want to make some kind of commitment. That this could be friendship, this could be a relationship, this could be a higher level of commitment as far as marriage, a work partnership, however that's relating to you. I'm getting just love. They want to make a higher level of commitment and love in general for this relationship. They really want to ground this relationship, they're telling me. But they're just anxious as far as how to make this choice, how to come forward. And we're getting patience as well. That's why they are taking their time, because they want to do it right. They want to do it right. The energy that I'm getting from this is, okay, so this is almost like time is running out. It's that, remember when I said in the beginning that the divine feminine is kind of just like, okay, you know, take your time floating, and the divine is kind of pushing them along. It's because they're moving forward that the divine is allowing them to take their time and have patience. But if they're giving me the word dilly-dally, which is hilarious because that's so old-fashioned, but they're giving me that word dilly-dally. If they dilly-dally, and if they resist, and if they don't let go of the control, if they don't do their healing work, then it's almost like they're going to run out of time, and the tower's going to come in and push them forward in a shake-up. What else do you have? What else do you have for that? Yeah. Storm warning. Yep. That's the tower. Yeah. If they don't, and we have the magician in the mirror here, which is tempering energy. If they don't do the healing work, they can take their time, but they can't dilly-dally. They have to trust their own intuition. That's the message that they're giving me. They have to trust themselves. They have to trust their own intuition and live by that guidance, live by their heart. And so if they're being pushed by the divine, if they're being nudged by the divine, they have to trust that, because that's not just the divine, that and their spirit team, that's their own soul pushing them forward. And they have to come to a place where they're trusting that. And they're trusting divine timing. They have to understand divine timing. Because if they ignore that, if they ignore what their heart is telling them, this storm's going to come in. And a tornado is going to come through, and it's going to disrupt everything. That's not to cause fear. It's just an energy. It's not even an energy of fear. It's just an energy of, you have to release the resistance. You have to release the control, because your soul is what is wanting this. Your soul is what is begging for this and pleading for this. That's the energy that I'm getting here. And that is what's keeping you all tied up in this anxiety, because you want this and you know that you want this, but you're remaining in conflict yourself. You're tying yourself up. This is that Eight of Swords energy again. You're binding yourself up. You're only doing it to yourself. And so what did we say here? Wasn't there a card about, what was one of the cards? Abundance or patience or whatever it was. There was a message in the very beginning about, you have to follow your path. You have to follow your path towards this happiness. Because when you're happy, you know you're on the right path. And when you're in this anxious energy, guess what? You're not on the right path. And your soul, again, is that navigational system. Your soul knows the way. So you have to trust what your soul and your heart is telling you. Because that is your path. And so they're saying, you know, patience can be had. But it is an energy of the wheel is turning. The wheel is turning whether you like it or not. Okay. That was a little bit of a harsher message, and I apologize for that. I don't like giving harsh messages like that, but, you know, if it's tough love, I gotta give it. Yeah. We have, this card just came out. It's the 4th chakra, which is the, that came out for the Divine Feminine reading as well as the heart chakra. This is heart chakra activations, and they're feeling it. They're feeling it in their emotional body, and that's causing some of this conflict for them because they're not used to it. They're not used to tapping into their emotions and trusting their emotions, but that's part of the healing process for them. They have to trust their emotions to guide them. And when they're feeling the emotions of regret and fear and failure, they have to transmute that and come back to the heart and come back to a place of love. Okay. This deck is done. Let's get to the Moonology. Whew. A lot about healing here. There's not a lot about the connection itself, although a lot of love for the Divine Feminine, of course. But this is really focused on the Divine Masculine's healing, which is beautiful. And it's almost like that energy that we were talking about in the beginning, that separation energy. You know, you have to separate so that you can heal individually, so that you don't hurt each other, so that you don't, because nothing can ruin this connection, because it's a connection that's made in the image of the divine, right? So nothing, you can't lose this connection, you can't damage this connection, but they want to make sure that the energies, that what's being healed doesn't create any pain or any, they are giving me the word damage, but they don't mean it in a way like it's irreversible damage. It's almost like you guys are so close and you're doing so much healing, and they're very, very proud of that, that separation is part of the divine plan. So-called separation, because you're never separate. Go within to feel your loved one. I say that all the time. It's true. I know I'm saying it like lackadaisical now, but it's just because I repeat it all the time. It's just because it's true. You're never separate. You're always with one another. You just have to go within and feel that love, because that love that you feel within yourself is love from your counterpart. And it's love for your counterpart, because it's one and the same, because you are the same. But when you are in physical separation, so-called perceived separation, that is just removing each other from, because when you come together, your chakras align, because you're the exact same energetic blueprint. Your chakras are like bound to each other. Your chakras really are like corded to each other. And so what happens is, if you're healing, in the midst of healing, and you're out of balance, they're channeling this to me now, I've never really heard this before. If you're in the midst of healing and something's out of balance, your energy's out of balance, then you could hurt each other. And that comes out as like, you know, you're hurting each other in the 3D, like yelling at each other or like triggering each other, stuff like that. But what's happening is it's the energy that's hurting you. And so they don't want that, because you guys are so close, because you're coming into balance and into alignment and into harmony, into union, merging your energies. And so they want you to be aligned. They want you to merge your energies. And so they don't want anything that's going to disrupt that connection. Okay. What guidance do you have for the new moon? What's going on with this moon? Well, what's going on with the masculine in the next few weeks in April? Let's do that. What's going on for April? Ooh. Look at the bigger picture. We have the full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. Oh my gosh. They just pointed me here. So for the past few months, I have been channeling this energy of a bowstring, of a slingshot actually, being drawn back. And it was a tension that we were feeling, because when you draw back on a slingshot or on a bow and arrow, there's tension there so that you can shoot forward. And for the past few months, we've been drawn back, and it's the past few weeks, it's been like that shivering, quivering energy. You know, when you pull back and your arm is tense, you can only hold that for so long. And it's almost like we were getting ready to slingshot forward. This is what's happening. They just drew me to the bow and arrow, and they said, yes, it's time. You are being slingshot forward. You're letting go of that. You're releasing that tension, and now you're being catapulted into forward momentum. So they're saying, keep an eye on the higher perspective, keep an eye on the bigger picture, which is your union. Have faith in this. Trust in this. Both divine counterparts. This is for both divine counterparts here. Divine masculines, the message for you is to not lose sight of your healing, because you are healing. And don't lose sight of the love that your divine counterpart has for you. Because no matter what you're experiencing on the 3D, there is love between your two. And don't lose sight of the love that you have for them, because that is what is assisting you in your healing, they're saying. That is what's assisting you, and that's what's going to propel you forward, they're saying, into this happiness and to this abundance, because it's assisting you in this healing. That's amazing. So it's happening. That it just gave me the energy of release. That release is happening. That slingshot that we had been pulled back on, that tension, gone. That tension's gone. We've released. That's incredible. That's what's happening. That's the refresh that they're saying is happening in April. Wow. What else do we have here? What else do we have here? They're saying Aries is the first month of the zodiac, Aries being in April. This is a completely new start. This is a completely new start, a complete fresh start. Again, the energy of don't look at the past. Don't look at the past, because you're not the same. Your counterpart isn't the same. Your life will not be the same. It is going to be something new and something bigger, something divine, because that is your divine right. This happiness, this love is your divine right. So let go of the conflict. Let go of whatever it was that you were holding on to, the karmic relationships, the codependencies. They're saying the past patterns of behavior that weren't serving you, the spiritual ego, any work relationships that weren't serving you anymore, any friendships that aren't serving you, anything that is keeping you in a lower vibration, you have to release in order to slingshot forward and keep that heightened vibration, to anchor into this higher dimensional energy of happiness and abundance and love. I'm not taking all those cards. That's way too many. Way too many. Okay, any other messages? Okay, they're calling me to one more deck. Any other messages here? Take time to breathe out as part of your healing, masculines. What do you need to release? What do you still need to heal? Release the emotions. Release the emotions. Step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid. Step out of this anxiety. Step out of your comfort zone. Know that you're being divinely guided and protected, that you're always in a place of love. Have courage, they're saying. Have courage and have strength. Take the time to heal. And they're saying healing is stepping out of your comfort zone, again, because of that toxic masculinity, because of the distorted masculine energy, that patriarchal paradigm that we were living in. It's difficult to feel our emotions, but that's part of healing, is feeling the emotions, moving through the emotions. The only way out is through. That's the saying that they were giving me. The only way out is through. You have to move through them in order to release. So what do you need to release? This is that take time to heal, because you are healing. But when it's time, take that step. Take that leap of faith. Step out of your comfort zone. Because they're saying there the entire world relates. There is where your love awaits. That's so beautiful. Okay. They actually pointed me to this Lover's Oracle as messages from your Divine Feminine, masculine. So this is for you. I know Divine Feminines watch this to find out what's going on with their masculines, but this is beautiful. They want, for any masculines watching, or even for the Divine Feminines, this is Divine Feminine. This is your higher self. So tap into that energy of love. Release any fears or doubts or resentment. Come back to that place of forgiveness. So let's see what you have to say to your Divine Masculine. We have manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. What have we been saying? Trust your heart, Divine Masculines. Divine Feminines too. Hold that vision, that manifestation. Have faith in that. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. There's no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. These are messages for both counterparts, which is really interesting because you guys are really in alignment. Your energies are matching. You are side by side now. Where before the Divine Feminine was a little bit ahead, kind of guiding this journey, the masculine, you guys have done the healing work. You've caught up. You've awakened to this connection. You've caught up. You should be so proud of yourself because this has not been easy. You were in like an accelerated course of study. Like, it has been very difficult for the Divine Feminine, but it has been like they've had a little bit more time. You guys have been like through the ringer. Quick. 1, 2, 3. Especially the past few months. It's been an accelerated course of study, but you've had the Divine Feminine guiding you and helping you through their love. So here, it's messages for both of you. It says acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. Again, come back to that place of peace. Come back to that place of knowing. Come back to that place of faith. And don't try to control this. Don't control the connection. Divine Feminines, don't control the connection of when the masculine is coming in. Divine Masculines, don't be so in control that you're resisting this connection. Release that control. Open up your heart to the love. Open up your heart to this happiness. Step out of this place of anxiety, because you're only doing that to yourself. And when you're in this place of anxiety, you're not true to yourself. Both of you, release the control around this. Release the expectations. Release the outcomes. Accept every moment. And find the gratitude in every moment, they're saying. Find the gratitude in this journey, because it can be a beautiful journey if we let go of the pain. We have, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. They're calling me to this card here. Make a choice. There is no right or wrong choice when it comes to coming forward, Divine Masculines. Your Divine Feminine is waiting with open arms and a forgiving heart. It says forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. Forgive yourself, Divine Masculines. Divine Feminines, forgive your Divine Masculines. It's that energy of patience, that energy of love is eternal, time is eternal. There is no time, it's an illusion. Energy is fluid. But when you look back at the past, they're saying, there's no point. There's no point, because what you have is now. What you have is this moment. So how are you going to embrace this moment? You've got romance. Somebody's got romance on their minds, and I don't think it's just the Divine Feminines. Cupid's arrow strikes, and again, they're pointing me to this, where is it? This arrow. This is forward momentum. This bow and arrow. That slingshot is being released. The arrow is flying. Are you going to hit your mark, Divine Masculines? You've made your choice. The path is wide open. You just have to take that leap of faith for the commitment that you want. For this sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. And look at that beautiful image. Divine counterparts embracing each other. Male, female, doesn't matter gender. It's the energy of the masculine and the feminine energies. All right, you guys, that feels like that's what we're going to end on. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a truly beautiful reading for the Divine Masculines. We are going to be back. I'm hoping to do it tomorrow, so it'll be uploaded either tomorrow or Friday before the full moon, and then we'll see next week how the full moon has created some shifts. But we're going to have the full Divine Partnership reading where we take a look at the overall energies of both counterparts, the union energies. Then we go into, with traditional tarot, we go into the either past, present, or future, or headspace, heart space, and physical reality of both divine counterparts. See how they're connecting with each other, how they're feeling about the connection, anything that is challenging the connection and keeping them in a place of healing, and what we can do to bring the counterparts together. So we'll go into the full Divine Partnership reading at the end of this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know if this resonates with you. Again, we'll be back soon. Sending you guys so much love and so much light.